In this video, I'm going to show you how to access Google Drive through your Chromebook and some helpful tips and tricks when using Google Drive. The first thing that you're going to want to do to access Google Drive the easiest way is to click on the triangle button on your pinned apps tabs. Let's look at a couple of different ways to do it as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to get to Google Drive as well as the option that I just showed you. So you can hit the Google Apps grid here, which is that 3x3 array, and hit Drive. And that will take you straight into your Drive. Or you can just type in drive.google.com, and that will also take you to Drive as well. So now that we are in Drive, you will see that I have a lot of folders and a lot of files as well. And this can get pretty overwhelming, and I'm definitely not advocating for you to have a drive that looks like mine, because mine is very, very messy. In fact, what I would encourage you to do is to create a new folder for each class that you are taking this year, and make sure you label it 1718 so that you know when you're going back what you have access to. So I'm going to hit New Folder, and I'm going to type in Math 1, 2017, 2018, and I'm going to hit Create. So anything that I'm putting in Math 1 related should live in this folder so that I'm not having to search all over my Google Drive. So if I open the folder, because I just created it, there's nothing in there. It's completely empty. So I'm going to hop back to my Drive. And let's say I have a couple of documents that I need to move to my folder. What I can do is I can look for my item here, and I can click and drag if I want to. If you have a lot of items in your Google Drive, this will take a long time. But if you only have a few things, it's pretty quick and easy to just do a good old drag and drop. Another option that you have is to right click on the file and choose Move To. What's going to happen, we're going to get a little mini box that's going to come up here, and we should be able to find my Math 1 folder. So I click on that, and then I just select Move. And if you did it on accident, you can also click Undo. So now if I go back to Math 1, I have my two files here. Best case scenario is that you actually start creating the documents in your folder so you don't have to move it afterwards, and then it will really just become a habit. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to open my Math 1 folder. Let's say we're working on a presentation, or we're working on a presentation for our Math 1 class. So I'm going to click New Google Slide, and I'm going to name this Math 1, and then I start to add my content in here, right? So it really becomes my own. And then once I'm finished with it, you'll see that it will automatically populate in your Math 1 folder. So if you're really working hard to make sure you're putting things in the right folder, just do it ahead of time. And then once it becomes a habit, you don't have to worry about it. The other option that you might run into here is if your teacher gives you a short link to a document or a PowerPoint or a Google slide, it looks like you have access to this, and you do. You have access to it through a link. You don't actually have this in your folder. It's not anywhere in your Drive. So what you can do to change that is you can make a copy so it becomes your own. And then instead of just throwing it in your Drive somewhere, you are going to click Math 1, hit select, and then hit OK. So now it's actually your file. So this one's your file, one that says copy of, and it's living in your Google Docs, so or your Google Drive, so you have access to it all the time. If you really get stuck and you're looking for something that you just can't seem to find, a couple of tidbits that always help me. I always check in the recent and the shared with me, and usually I can find it in there somewhere. And if I can't find it in there, I can then start looking by the teacher name or whoever shared it with me. So these are all the things that Mr. Miles has shared with me and that I have access to. So that's also a really good way to be able to find something quickly just by searching for the owner. So those are a few helpful tips and tricks for using Google Drive.